Hello dear students, welcome back to our science classes. How are you all? I hope you all are healthy and doing well. So students, I'm your science educator again here with a new chapter and a new concept. And today we have chapter number 12, soil erosion and conservation. So today we are going to learn about the soil. But before this, have a look on your learning objectives. So have a look on your learning objectives. So first of all, we have to understand about the soil erosion, then causes of soil erosion, rainwater, river and streams, wind, deforestation, effects of soil erosion, soil conservation, planting trees and grasses, building burns and embankments, making terrace on hill slope. So what we have to understand in this chapter, these are the learning objectives we have. So before not getting late, let's get started. Soil is made up of different layers as we already discussed in our earlier classes, right? Soil is made up of different layers. The uppermost layer, it's called the topsoil. The layer of soil contains humus and it is suitable for the growth of plants. The layer below the topsoil, it's called the subsoil. Just below the soil of subsoil is the layer of stones and rocks are called the bedrock. So basically we have three layers: top layer, sub layer and bed layer. Top layer is referred as topsoil, sub layer is referred as subsoil, and the last layer is referred as bedrock. So then the first layer, in topsoil we have a great amount of humus. In subsoil, which is the next layer of the topsoil, that is referred because this is present beneath the topsoil. In this we have small rocks and the color of the sand is darker, it's lighter as compared to the topsoil because the amount of humus is high in compared to the other two layers. The last we have third layer, which is bedrock. Why we called it bedrock? Because the last layer we have so many big rocks, that is why it's referred as the bedrocks. Now we are going to learn about the soil erosion. So soil erosion means the breakdown, basically the wastage of soil, we can say. So the topsoil is soft and loose. The rain, the flowing water, rivers, streams and fast blowing winds carry away the loose topsoil and deposit it at the other places. The removal of the topsoil from place to place by natural forces or agents such as rain, flowing water and strong winds is known as soil erosion. So what we discussed here and what we understand here, that the topsoil changes its place by the natural forces, that is referred as your soil erosion. If topsoil changes its place, so what will happen? The amount of topsoil is getting the amount of topsoil will be decreases. So it is referred as the soil erosion, where the topsoil remove with the natural process from one place to the other places. Next we have causes of soil erosion. Why this happens? Just first of all, the rain of water. So rainwater reaches the rivers at its flows. It cuts the soil and forms hollow waterways. These waterways become wide and deep in the plains. By the force of running water, the topsoil is carried away. Thus, soil is eroded by water. So, as you've seen, when rainwater fall down on the earth's surface, the speed of it is very high. So, what will happen? The topsoil will be flow down with the flow of the rainwater, and with this, they change its place from one to another, and it is a main point. I mean, it is a main cause for the soil erosion. Next we have rivers and streams. So rivers and streams, as they flow down the hills, wash away fine and sand, mud particles and minerals and gradually deposit them in the plains. The soil deposited by rivers, it's called silt. So it is very rich and fertile. A large amount of soil gets into the sea as rivers empty their water into the seas. Yet after year, the soil gets deposited layer by layer and forms delta. So what we understand here, when rivers and lakes fall down their water, so with this, the small particles of sand, the small particles of mud will also fall down. And this water is collected at the edge of the river, at the edge of the lock, at the edge of the river and the edge of the lake. So what will result into this? This process is continuously, this is referred as the slit. When the layer by layer or slit to deposit on one another by continuously, that is referred as the delta. This soil is very fertile, but what will happen? This is removing the topsoil of other places and collecting this topsoil at the edge of the rivers. It is a good thing, but it is a main cause for the soil erosion. Next we have wind. If you ever seen a big and a strong wind is ever happen in front of you, so what will happen? They have dust particles. These dust particles are the topsoil basically. So when a strong wind blows and clouds of when a strong wind blows and clouds of dust rise, the topsoil is affected by strong winds because it is soft and loose. The strong wind carries away the soil and deposit in different places because topsoil is very soft and loose. So with the strong wind blow, it can travel from one place to the other place. So it is also a main case for the soil erosion. Next we have deforestation. Deforestation, indiscriminately cutting down trees, is known as deforestation. It increases soil erosion. When an area is covered with trees, the risk of erosion, which is removal of topsoil, is significantly reduced. It is because the soil particles get themselves firmly bound to the roots of plants and trees, so the soil particles cannot be carried away easily by running water and strong wind. So what we understand here, when we have trees, so the roots of the trees, basically, for example, this is soil, this is root of the tree. So it connects the soil like this. And with the help of this connection, soil erosion could not be happen where we have a lot of trees. But with the help of deforestation, what will happen? Trees will cut, so the roots will be missing. So the connection between the root and soil will be break. And then the strong wind, the rain water and the other things will help this soil water, because this is very loose and very soft, so then it can be moved from one place to the other place. So that is why deforestation also plays a that is why deforestation is also a cause of soil erosion. Now soil erosion does not take place in forest areas. Trees plays a crucial role in mitigating soil erosion by preventing the easy displacement of soil particles by running water and strong wind. If the trees are cut down in the forest, soil erosion take place. So what we understand here, that where we have forest, where we have a good amount of trees, so soil erosion could not be placed there. But if we have less amount of trees, if we have the deforestation will be happen again and again, so the soil erosion will be may lead. Next we have effects of soil erosion. What are the effects we have for the soil erosion? So soil erosion damages, removes the topsoil or productive soil. Thus it reduces the fertility of the soil. As we already discussed, in the topsoil we have a good amount of humus. As your topsoil is changes its plates again and again with these things, with the help of rain, with the help of the deforestation. So what will happen? The humus of the topsoil is disappear and the fertility of soil will be decreases. The next point we have the next point we have the delicate balance between the topsoil and subsoil is disturbed. So here what we understand, this is your topsoil and this is your base soil. So here we have a connection between them. When your topsoil is disappeared, when your topsoil is disappeared, so what will happen? The connection between the subsoil and topsoil is also disturbed, and the productivity, the fertility of the soil is also disturbed. Soil erosion deposits the unwanted sand and other types of soil on the productive soil. And with the help of soil erosion, what will happen? As your topsoil, which is covering, basically you can say covering part of your soil is disappeared due to the rainwater, due to the strong wind, and the humus soil will have attack of the other waste material on it, which will disturb the fertility of the soil. Next, it produces a barren and unproductive land, removing humus and other materials. As the topsoil remove, the fertility also decreases, because humus rich soil is disappeared. So what we have to make sure that we have to keep in mind that topsoil should be secure. So now we have to learn about the soil conservation. How can we secure our topsoil? So this process of a country depends on its rich fertile soil for agriculture. Soil erosion is an undesirable and natural phenomena. We cannot completely control the soil erosion, but we can adopt certain steps to protect against the soil of topsoil and make the natural agents to do less damage to the soil. The protection of soil from erosion, it's called soil conservation. Soil conservation can be done in the following ways. As we already understood that the soil erosion is a natural phenomena, we cannot stop it. So as we already discussed that soil erosion is a natural phenomena, we cannot stop it, but we can adopt some methods to stop, and we can prevent this soil erosion to harming that much. So basically we have to adopt some methods to, with the help of that, this natural phenomena could not harm in a big amount. Next, planting trees and grasses. As we already understood, if we have a good amount of trees, so it can hold a connection between the soil and the root, which will help us to conserve our soil. So planting trees, plants and grasses prevent soil erosion. The branching roots of trees grows in all direction and make strong underground nets. These nets bind the soil particles in such a way that they are not washed away even by heavy showers or blown away by strong wind. So the soil should not be left bare. Nutrients should be planted in plant places of those cut down or destroyed. Shrubs and trees should be planted along the banks of the rivers to save the soil from the action of fast flowing water and floods. So what we understand here, if we plant trees, if we plant grasses, so it will result into the conservation of soil, and the connection between the soil and the root will become stronger, and it will originate a net inside the underground, which will create a thing which will create a process where the heavy rainfall and heavy wind cannot affect the soil. Next we have building bunds and embankments. So floods cause great damage. They wash away the soil along the banks. To prevent this kind of damage, strong bunds and embankments are built at places where water dashes against the bank. Thus the direction of the flow of water is changed and erosion is the control. So what we understand here, this is the direction of flowing of soil, right? If we make embankments opposite of it, so what will happen? It will be connected on a particular place. So it will be result into the soil conservation. Now dams are built on rivers to control the force of flood. Water dams slow the speed of flowing water or flood water and thus reduce the damage to the soil. If we made dams, so what will happen? They control the movement, they control the motion of the flood water, and it will help us to control the soil erosion. Next, making terrace on hill spots. Making terrace on hill slopes. Terrace is an important way to control soil erosion, especially on hill slopes. When water comes down from the hills with force, it carries a large amount of soil along with it, forming of a broad flat steps called terrace reduced or weaken the force of water coming down from the top of hills. Most of the soil in water is left behind on the terrace. The edge of the terrace can be raised. These will hold back the rainwater and the soil it carries. This method of farming, it's called contour farming. So what we understand here, on hill steps, what we can do, we can make stairs. So when the water supply, if you have a straight, means slanting line, so what will happen? The flow of water will be increases. But when water have to supply from one stair to next stair to next stair to next, so what will happen? The flow of water will be changes. The flow of water will be decreases, and it will help us to prevent the soil erosion, because when water is traveling from one stair to another, it's hold the soil back. And we can also do the farming on these strays as well, and this type of farming is referred as the contour farming, because this farming is we done on these stairs only to protect or prevent the soil erosion. So what we understand here, so basically we can stop soil erosion by using contour farming. So students, this is the end of your chapter. I hope so you understood it very well. Now I'm going to meet you in your next class. Till that, bye bye, have a good day.